Is that a glaive? I thought you hated those things.
Oh, I do, but you see, I've learned this really disgusting damage combo that allows me to kill any guardian. Watch closely. First, lift your left leg up behind you. Spin around for a second, stop. Then give it 3 times. Whoa! Whoa!
Archibald, I already suffer enough brain damage playing Control. Just tell me the build.
Oh. Alright then. To my comrade Reginald. Today I bring you a build that promises to shock and thrust the Crucible into submission. By Osiris, that sounded more sexually charged than Andrew Tate's DMs. Crucible has been an utter slog lately. It's like someone went up to Crucible, slapped it, called it ugly, obese, and unloved, and then it decided to take out its depression violently upon everyone near it, like an emotionally troubled middle school bully. Nevertheless, this build will provide some form of relief, regardless of what elo we find ourselves in. A build that allows a glaive to one-shot even a super at full health. A build that plays more akin to the unreleased Street Fighter 6 than a shooter game. But it is a build that took quite the time to create and perfect to the killing machine it is today. And lastly, of course, I will give you the info on how to get this glaive to one-shot anything in its path. Yes, even supers. This glaive-focused Shaolin monk cosplay started before Arc 3.0 had graced us with the amplified and speed-buffed mechanics we have been snorting like a line of powered space crack from this last patch. Frankly, the build might have been even better before the 3.0 rework, purely because one of the key combos to this build was still a viable choice. Yes. Ah yes. The combos. Reginald, this may be one of the few builds we actively encourage the general mindless meta-wielding populace to try, simply because if there was a difficulty scale from 1 to 5, this would be an 8, which is ironically the number of lethal combos it possesses. First off, this build uses the Edge of Concurrence, an exotic glaive that has a quest chain so long and so mind-numbingly boring I often found myself finding more entertainment and joy out of stubbing my toe violently into my mahogany coffee table than finishing this quest chain. Wait a minute, we don't have toes? And what was I jamming? Yes, right, the combos. Well, because this glaive has an overall higher fire rate than its legendary counterparts, its damage per shot is also lowered from 130 to 106. Your time to kill is faster with this glaive than others, matching the default optimal time to kill of weapons like lightweight pulses and 140 hand cannons, in case that snobbish mustache of yours is too busy hiding that disgraceful excuse of a face to look it up yourself. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Crucible has made me very sad lately. Right, like I was saying, 106 damage is still enough for a 2-shot, but you will need more from other damage sources to guarantee this weapon's claim on your target's soul. This has been problematic when Arc 3.0 rolled around. Namely, Arc Bolts received a rather significant nerf, dropping its base damage from 106 to 86, heavily nerfing our first combo. While this still will work, you can't guarantee it, especially on thick-skinned and thick-headed titans running at you like you're a mouth-functioning vending machine. So this was the first iteration of the build. Edge of Concurrence, a rapid-fire pulse, and the Liar's Handshake. Which brings us to the second combo only possible with the Liar's Handshake. If you have Glaive shield energy, hold your shield and allow yourself to take a melee hit. Release your shield and swap weapons, and engage your target with the righteous fisticuffs. Put your hands on eBay and start the bid at 0. Get your hands rated by the ESRB so they can be rated E for everyone. Legally change your name to Chloroform because you will be doing nothing but handing out naps. I really liked this version of the build. The Pulse can handle mid to longer range engagements with ease, leaving your Glaive and Liar's Handshake to do the dirty work up close. Of course, if you do run this, you will want something like Lethal Current or Spark of Resistance to help you secure the second or third buffet of percussive face punches. But you could also combine this with the Tempest Strike. Combo 3. Simply put, Tempest Strike into a weapon swap into a glaive shot. The nice thing is this will work regardless of resilience and can prime up more than one target with a single uppercut. The downside is that this wave of arc damage can be a tad difficult to set up and land. A neat trick, however, is to blink immediately after the uppercut to make yourself harder to predict. If this particular flavor is your forte, give Gambler's Dodge a try to keep your melees around more often. This can run with either the aforementioned Liar's Handshake for better immediate CQC options, or you could try this with the Frosties. You should be able to maintain a good uptime of nearly every ability with Frosties. You can use grenades for setting up damage follow-ups with your weapon or your glaive if you are feeling adventurous. One more combo to bring up before I move to the last pairing. You can reasonably consistently glaive shot into a normal melee to set up things like combination blows or the Liar's Handshake. The problem with this is that it relies on your target not having an immediate shutdown to your chimpanzee tactics, so use with caution. And now on to the last iteration of this build, and the iteration I personally find to be the most consistent and lethal. Currently, there is a seasonal mod from the artifact that grants bonus grenade energy when throwing arc grenades. Now, if some, let's just say, audaciously magnificent bastard were to run this on the Shinobu's Vow, you might have the grounds of being declared a PTSD-triggering war criminal. Not only does this combo allow for a very similar damage profile to the ones that was lost in the 3.0 update, but by the 9, can you hurl grenades? You can hurl grenades faster than a net limiter can hurl excuses evading a ban. You can hurl grenades faster than Twitch can hurl itself into self-destructing poor financial decisions. You can hurl more grenades faster than a Call of Duty player hurls racial slurs. And because of the more forgiving nature of these grenades, you can use them as a sort of IOU for the damage you would later inflict upon the stupid, unwitting faces. Worst case scenario, you have wasted one of 2 grenade charges. Best case scenario, you perfectly pressure your opponent into a position where their only option is to die to Stabby McJabby. Average case is you get an assist, which to be fair is a pretty solid deal. If you do decide to grasp the Shinobus into your off-meta clenching fists, try it with an SMG and blink. Your ability to cover ground and apply longer range pressure can make you into a serious menace as soon as you approach the restraining order range that they will request upon seeing the respawn screen. How did I almost forget about the one-shots? Yes, this Glaive's exotic perk will allow it to one-shot any target its angry mini-arc wave tracks down. Getting this perk to proc, however, is the tricky part. It will take you 4 shots without using your Glaive shield to get the option to swap into the alt-fire mode. My suggestion for getting to this mode is to remember that the Glaive can kill as fast as many of the other primaries. If you are confident in your aim, you can avoid instinctively clutching the "Mommy, help me, the bad man has a shotgun" button, and you will guarantee this kill option after just 2 kills. Remember that they don't even need to be kills either. 4 successful shots will do. Alright, the gloss is in the room. Simply put, Glaive registration is as consistent as McDonald's Wi-Fi. Sometimes you will get Glaive shield energy but not register damage. Sometimes it's the reverse. Sometimes Bungie decides to remind you that this game is peer-to-peer and completely shortchange you on both fronts. Just be persistent and take solace in the knowledge that they plan on fixing this registration issue. Eventually. Hell, at least you know there must be something about this build that draws me back, even though the Crucible and my very weapons have been slapping me across my beautiful face for the last few months! I know we protest the quitting penalty with many of the other changes to Crucible. Just wait and bide your time. We always get what we want. In the meantime, we can play lobbies where off-meta is the only quitter penalty on our Discord linked in the video. Just make sure you are subscribed, or I will know. Archibald Multitool the 7th.